Canada, we have seen a lot of repeat offenders.
Correct.
They do the crime, they go inside, they got a bail, they are outside, they do again the same crime. It means that these kind of programs are not working.
When we talk of repeated offenders, the crime severity index has come down from 2022 to 2025.
We don't agree because we have seen, you are also smiling because
Yes.
The factuals are something else what we
That's
see. Those are not the factual that crime has come down, it has gone up.
People tend to go and commit the same crimes again and again because of the root causes like unemployment or something related to not being able to make the ends meet.
Do you believe that Canadians' laws should be more strict? Because what we find that there are not enough spaces in the jails, there are not enough beds in the jails, capacity is total full, where to keep the new criminals, because then you have to leave out the old one. So what is your thought on that? We got a chance to talk to few offenders, those who are out from the prison, and when we talked to them, they said we like to do crime because we live a very good life inside the prison. We got a good food. So means as jail for criminals, jail life is much better than the life outside. How many Indians, Punjabis or Gujaratis are there in the prisons when you go there? We have a special guest today who is a non-profit leader, woman empowerment coach, and who is a founder and director of 2 international organizations. And in Canada, she is a Canadian instructor who worked in prisons as a prison programmer. So what are the prison programs here in Canada? Just for the information, in Canada, the prison programs are handled by Correctional Services. It's a federal agency, Correctional Services. But if the sentence is more than 2 years, then it's a federal. And if the shorter sentences, then it is handled by the provincial ministries. So none other than Tanvi Sukhija. Tanvi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Nitin ji. मेरा नाम तन्वी है ते मैं women empowerment coach हैगी हाँ. From my profession, I've been working with a non-profit organization here in Canada and running various prison programs through the Art of Living. I'm also a faculty with the Art of Living since last decade. ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ programs run करते हैं under this banner of the Art of Living, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ breathing techniques and various programs are run for the benefit of the community.
Tanvi, if you want to give your introduction in short, what you will say about yourself?
I am a community server.
Okay.
If I were to give one particular jargon कि मैं करदी की हाँ, मैं community ਦੇ benefit ਲਈ जिन्ना भी ਕੰਮ है ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ provide ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ services ਤੇ ਇਹਦਾ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੰਮ lead ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ women empowerment, helping the children, helping the various community servers who are there in the community and bringing them together for a better future.
So you have you are a founder and director of 2 international organizations. Which are they?
So I run 2 organizations. One goes by the Kerencia Consulting Inc. Kerencia Consulting Inc. the which I'm working as a career coach, helping people build resumes, getting a good Canadian workplace culture benefits and helping them know what exactly goes into the Canadian workplace culture. The second which we are running is Orient Technologies Inc., where we are helping with the recruitment and staffing of the Canadian people.
And you are also a woman empowerment coach. What is that?
When I talk of women empowerment, it's a very wide term. When we're talking of women empowerment, we know that living specifically in the Peel region since last 3.5 years almost, we've seen that women are at the core and the helm of the things. They are running and leading almost everything. ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ ਲੀਡ ਕਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇੱਕ innate they've got this thing in them to lead a certain organization, to lead a certain place, helping them get to know their own capabilities over time is what we are doing through that women empowerment. Then you look into the other realms wherein women have been at the crux of facing issues like intimate partner violence, gender-based violence. Ona cheez nu overcome kidda karya jaye te kidda help kitta jaye women nu. That's what a women empowerment coach is doing.
Now the interesting part is that you are associated with Arts of Living. They have across the globe, they have the branches across 65 countries, and we have learned that you are a Canadian instructor with Arts of Living and having the prison programs.
Right.
Tell us about what are the prison programs and how you got associated with Arts of Living, and you are a Canadian instructor.
Right.
So is there any beneficial in the prisons for the defenders?
इस चीज़ में वास्ते मैं नितिन जी स्टार्ट करांगी आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग दी प्रेजेंस 192 कंट्रीज़ विच है कि 192 countries are having art of living presence. When we talk of the presence, we are running almost more than 50 programs across each and every country. And specifically when talking of the prison programs, this was formulated in 1992 and it is a 5-day program meant over 2 hours per day, and this was basically meant for correctional staff and for the inmates of the jail. In Canada as well, we are running the same thing. We are running it in the view of helping the inmates and the correctional staff to come together to lead a better life.
So Arts of Living is running prisons programs across Canada in the correctional services.
That's right.
So it is for the inmates and it is for the correctional staff also.
It is for both.
So how the programs are different for the staff and for the inmates?
So technically, we come from a viewpoint that inmates need some help when it comes to breathing techniques and helping them get over and not repeat a certain offense that they have committed. When we talk of the correctional staff, they're dealing with the inmates. They're dealing with the psychology of the inmates. Every single point in time, when you deal with the psychology of an inmate, you tend to feel that pressure on you. You carry that to your family. To avoid that carryover to the family and to the society as a whole, we try to bring in some programs for the correctional staff also.
So you yourself as an instructor, you go to the prisons?
That's right. We have approximately 30 coaches across the country, those who are leading the Prison Smart programs, which was initially the Prison Smart program. Now we call it the Art of Living Prison program. And 30 people leading this particular cause. We are trying to make more teachers who can lead this thing and lead this cause forever.
30 coaches across Canada. My question, Tanvi, is we have seen, especially in Canada, we have seen a lot of repeat offenders.
Correct.
They do the crime, they go inside, they got a bail, they are outside, they do again the same crime. And many of the times, 7, 10 times, they are doing the same crime again and again. It means that these kind of programs are not working, or what needs to be done so that if Arts of Living prison programs are there, it means lacking on the government part or the correctional officer's part, or the programs are lacking something.
This is a very good question, Nitinji. When we talk of a societal correction or when we talk of helping people across the society, it requires people from both the ends to come together, whether it is federal support or the provincial support, along with the teachers who are leading the course. What we've required is we can make our presence felt, but sometimes with regards to getting the funding done right on time, getting fundings with respect to helping the correctional staff and the inmates, that is the lack where it somewhere comes down to be. People are leading it with the pro bono cause also at times, because we've got support from many organizations. When we talk of repeated offenders, the crime severity index has come down from 2022 to 2025. It's not shown through, but the statistics show a considerable change, which is about 10 to 12% is the lower down when we talk of the numbers, which has come down by 12% over the last 3 years.
It has come down?
It has come down. Severity.
We don't agree, because we have seen, you are also smiling because
Yes.
The factuals are something else what we
That's
see. Those are not the factual that crime has come down, it has gone up. Because what is the reason to have, like they are the repeated offender, what are the reasons? Something is not working. What is that?
So we know that Canadian economy is led by 3 basic issues. When we are talking of unemployment, we are talking of housing, and we are talking of mental health. These 3 issues, when they come together, these are leading to people committing offenses time and again. There's a lot of pressure coming in. There's a lot of issues pertaining to leading a good financial life, because people cannot make the ends meet. It is very difficult for people to get together, especially for the youth. When we talk of the immigration statistics, when we talk of the unemployment, it's by the rise. And the repeated offenses might have reduced a bit, but on the other end, the crime might have gone up. So these are the statistics which need to combine together. And when people come together to help people for that particular cause, when I say that the crime severity has gone down, by that I simply mean the severity and the repeated offenses have come down, but people tend to go and commit the same crimes again and again because of the root causes like unemployment or something related to not being able to make the ends meet. To avoid that, we need to come together with the government, be it federal or the provincial, to bring them together to a place where we are able to help the youth specifically, which are at the root of leading a certain country, so that they can be led and they can be made to come out of that particular ghetto or that vicious circle when they are committed into committing crimes again and again.
Tanvi, you want to share some data with us? Like when you go to the prisons And I'll ask you if any, because you are in direct touch with the inmates also, any interaction happened, any experience, bad experience or a good experience, you want to share that?
So I'll bring out something because we run this context with respect to the North American context, and we've seen many people. We have testimonies coming in from the correctional staff of the US forces as well. People have told that they were able to come down from. There have been direct testimonials wherein inmates have brought it to our notice that the level of anger, the anger management has been proper. So that's what is the testimonial coming in from the direct offenders. When we talk of the correctional staff, which has a lot of burden carrying over with the inmates' pressure and the kind of jail, what kind of, so you see kind of the environment that you see in the jails, and when you see the correctional staff facing that pressure through, they've always brought this testimony that being able to learn a practice like a Sudarshan Kriya or some sort of breathing technique, which we do through the art of living, they've been able to help themselves with the anger management. They've been able to help themselves with coming out of that kind of pressure which they face in their day-to-day life.
So basically, breathing practice, your programs include the breathing practice.
Right.
Does it also include yoga? Because yoga is also kind of a breathing.
That's right. We do have a combination of practices which are physical and which are related to the breathing directly. We are of this view and we propagate this idea that when it comes to management of the anger, it's through the breathing. So when you do a proper breathing exercise, it's a combination of breathing as well as some physical exercises which helps you lead a better life and makes you come out of that anger that you are in.
So Canadian youth is more into the crime, because you might have seen into the prisons, jails, correction offices, our youth under 16, because now criminals, they started new thing, hiring under 16, under 18, and because of the Juvenile Act here. Right. So what is your experiences, Canadian youth into the crime? What is the reason they went into crime?
So apparently, when you look at the statistics in the jail, it's a very vivid ratio that happens. There is no specific certain age group which is into the crimes. You'll see people coming in from all age groups who are a part of the jail inmate system. But the major thing which comes down with the youth is that you're looking at the root cause. You're looking at the people who are at the forefront. So having a certain population, which is the youth, being involved in activities like crime, it is basically coming down from issues like unemployment, coming in from those issues like once they've studied and they've completed their studies, not being able to land into a job, not being able to get the right things and resources at their disposal is what has pushed them into getting through that particular part. So not saying that the entire population is the youth population, but a majority of population is the youth population.
Any, being an instructor, any bad experience in the jail?
Substance abuse is something which has come to the notice. Because of the substance abuse, obviously the mind power reduces, and we've seen that people tend to be very aggressive at times and sometimes not being in a certain mode to take those services which are being offered. They don't want to take it. They are simply not receptive to the services which are offered. So getting to know them, getting into a zone where they feel psychologically safe, where they want to come together and want to talk about their problems is something where we need to reach down to bring those courses in those particular areas and arenas. So making them comfortable, coming to a physiologically and psychologically safe space, and then allowing them to be a part of such a course is what we need to do.
Do you believe that Canadians' laws should be more strict? Because what we find that there are not enough spaces in the jails, there are not enough beds in the jails, capacity is total full, where to keep the new criminals, because then you have to leave out the old one. So what is your thought on that?
When talking of the services and the resources, apparently if we deal with the root cause of the problem, I am an advocate of the issue that if we deal with the root cause and we try to pull out the root from the issues, it'll be easier for us to propagate
a better. What is the root cause?
The root cause would be the unemployment, lack of housing, lack of having the financial ends met is something which the people are facing on the core, which has apparently been the major reason behind people committing all sorts of crimes. and that accounts for approximately 70% of the crimes being committed in the country. If 70% of the crimes come in from the basic issues like unemployment and housing and some things related to your basic needs, I think that's where the government needs to pull in their threads tight and wants to come together so that organizations like Art of Living can provide their services, and we coming together with the government can create a better future for our children.
Ever Art of Living give a suggestion to provincial or our federal governments, because you are into direct contact with the inmates, you know their behavior, their criminal behaviors, their change of moods, their attitude. Did you ever give suggestions to the governments?
So it's not been a direct part per se, but when we call in for the policy analysts and the various rulers or the people who are at the top helm of the organizations come together, we've been asked for advice through and through, because we formulate a part of the society per se, and we've been working towards the betterment of the society. For this comes in with direct statistics. We come in with direct statistics telling about, say, 80% of the people benefited after a certain course. So we have the statistics right and clear, wherein people have reduced doubling of the offenses, or repeated offenses have come down. So the severity of the index has been shown to be lower over time. Such statistics brought together to the government, I think that would make a markup, and that would provide us a better space to operate in a better way.
Personally, do you feel that our laws are quite weak? We need to be a strict laws?
When we talk of the stricter laws for any country, the main agenda is to have a good environment for people to survive, for people to sustain, and to make good lives. I apparently feel it's together with the organizations like Art of Living and with many other organizations that are operating pro bono and are also doing services for the community to come together and give it a push. I do not say that some country lacks a certain thing, but it's always working in the right direction and putting your energy and channeling your energy in the right direction, which will take you to better places.
We got a chance to talk to few offenders, those who are out from the prison, and when we talked to them, they said we like to do crime because we live a very good life inside the prison. We got a good food, and whenever we don't have a food, we do a crime and we go inside and they just leave us out. That is our job. How you, because you were also in touch with the inmates, how you feel that, why they say that we like inside the jail, not outside, but they don't want to keep us, they let us go.
So Nitinji, coming back to the same point, wherein I would want to reiterate that there are three basic issues. When you're talking of unemployment, when you're talking of housing, you're not able to meet up with the financial ends and the requirements of the family. This is not available to them outside. Their mental health is affected outside.
So means as jail, for criminals, jail life is much better than the life outside?
I'm not saying, I'm apparently coming down from the view that when they're not getting the resources outside, they're looking for the offenses. Why are offenses being recommitted? Why are people going in for multiple offenses time and again? Because the root cause again is the issue that they're dealing with some issues on the forefront. We are looking into the unemployment statistics on a back burner. We are not seeing it from the direct perspective. If we see through the unemployment from the direct perspective, we'll get to know the usage of such programs in the society. People coming together, organizations, the community serving organizations, when they come together and help the youth build a better life, I think such offenses would automatically come down.
Okay. What kind of programs in the jails we have? Because there are sex offenders, there are women offenders, there are many different kind of offenders are there. So do you have a different programs for all these different offenders?
So the program that comes in with a similar curriculum for all, but we try to customize it in accordance to the kind of people that we are dealing with. We know that correctional staff would require it to happen or be organized it in a different manner as compared to the inmates who are coming in from a certain strata of the society. That being said, everything is the same one, but we try to customize in accordance to the people that we are dealing with.
Inner transformation is very important, and inner transformation is the foundation lasting change in individuals, families and societies. How your programs, Art of Living's program inside the prisons, make sure that person's inner transformation is done accordingly with the programs?
I'll want to reiterate again, when we say breathing techniques, 100% when you feel that there's a certain pattern when you breathe. For example, a person is feeling very fearful, would then the apparent breathing technique would be that the person would automatically go in for a breathless kind of a thing. When you're feeling angry, the breath rate increases. So we feel that within Art of Living, breathing can do wonders. So all the courses that we run are in accordance to the breathing techniques.
So how many breathing techniques are there? Different breathing techniques or one breathing
There's
technique?
one breathing technique which we teach through and apparently make them practice over a particular span of 5 days.
Can you show us which is that breathing technique?
So that's told and taught through the programs per se.
Okay.
You need to come in, be in that particular environment. We start off with the imparting of that particular education and getting through. It helps you lead a better life over time. So if you practiced it with time, we've seen statistics where people have better living standards, where people have gotten over issues like various anger issues and other issues pertaining to not living a good life. So they've gotten over.
So with the
facts.
breathing techniques, all these offenders, they have the same breathing techniques basically.
That's right.
So the program includes breathing techniques and what else? Only breathing techniques?
So there are various components of the program when we talk of it per se. You've got certain imparting knowledge to them over the time of 5-day span, and then teaching them the breathing techniques along with some practices which are at the physical level, the physiological level, so that all combined together they're able to utilize and become better human beings over
So
time.
in the prisons, are these programs mandatory for the inmates or they have a choice to attend or not to
It's a
attend?
choice per se. That's what I told you. When they come down from a certain mindset, getting them to a certain level where they want to learn a newer art, where they are receptive to that particular technique being taught, is only when they can be brought into that particular sphere. So reaching to that level wherein you make it necessary that this is good for you, and making them understand this would lead to a better life, is where the Art of Living has to work first.
So with your experience, do inmates attend these programs?
Yes, with
How long,
the kind of
how long these programs are? Every day or?
So it's in accordance to the kind of time that we get through. So as of now, when we get through a certain facility, and if we are allowed to operate through that particular part, we need to look through the funding operations. How is that happening, and how are we moving towards that particular process? If people are there and we have a funding available for the things to happen, because there are logistics and there are various things utilized with a particular program also. So once all the things are in place is when we can jump into that particular process.
How many Indians, Punjabis or Gujaratis are there in the prisons when you go there?
So when we talk of these statistics per se, we've seen a mixed combination wherein you've seen people, the indigenous community, the Canadians, the people coming in from all sorts of nations are there. It's not specific when it comes to, but when we obviously with the kind of population per se, say Peel region has a higher statistics when we talk of the people coming in from the South Asian community. If the South Asian community is higher, then you would see a higher proportion, whereas it's lower in the other regions.
But we have seen that people say that one of the jail, their 90% occupants are South Asians, they are Indians, they are Punjabis, and there are immigration detentions, they are full. The capacities are full in the jails. So what as per you, like when capacities are full, programs are there, repeat offenders are there, and they are committing crime again and again, means again somewhere something is failure, either on the government's part or on the correctional part, or the programs are failing then.
So apparently I wouldn't say it's a failure per se. We are trying our level best to seep into the system. As you know, it's not very easy to seep into the system and just get it on the go, right? We are trying our level best to be available for that particular purpose. We are trying our level best to be making such programs available to the inmates. But when we say that the places are full or people have utilized those spaces per se, we need to look into the deeper sense of the story as to how could government as well come forward to help us, provide us various logistics and various infrastructure to organize such programs which can lead to a better life for the inmates, and we can reduce the offenders which are committing crimes again and again.
So percentage, how many inmates attend your programs? Because it is not mandatory.
Right.
Why it is not mandatory? Because all the inmates need to be a good human. And why it is not mandatory? And how many attend your programs?
So when we talk of a certain percentage with various senior homes where we attend or do other programs, or where we go, say, inmates or jail facilities where such programs are being organized, I always have to bring this thing forward that we need to reach to a certain plateau wherein people are ready to accept, people are ready to get it through. If it is not through, there are certain mental pressures, there are certain mental conditions which do not allow them to be a part of the story again, right? When I talk of the mental pressures per se, people are not in the right mode to take that up, and then it comes in from the correctional staff as well, that they cannot force it on the same goes with us. We cannot be forcing that program, or we cannot be just there asking them to take up the program per se, but we try our level best to create an environment wherein wherever there's a facility that we've gotten a chance to be in, people more and more of the people are attending. So 80% is a great ratio if people come in and attend that particular program.
So you are a prison instructor. Any challenges you face in the prison?
Absolutely, yes. And this is worldwide. This is not just in Canada per se. We've seen that people come in with many mental pressures and mental issues. When we talk of the mental health, it's a very subtle art, right? People are just talking about mental health per se. But if you go deeper and look into it, people are suffering from substance abuse. People have suffered some traumas. People have suffered some issues in their past, which have led to such issues that they are in a jail kind of an environment. Now, this particular issue, when mental health is a problem, it tends to come on the people who are leading such programs also, because we need to go in with that kind of mindset that we'll have to deal with all kinds of people in the society. People are having a substance abuse, we'll have to deal with them. So sometimes having a group helps, sometimes having an individual which is high on understanding the, high on giving a therapy, or is a registered therapist along, is always a good deal to do.
Tanvi, thank you very much for your insightful of the prisons. And this is the first time we are talking to a prison instructor. What message you want to give to the youth, Canadian youth? Because the repeated offenders, they do crime again and again because they know we are safe, nothing is going to happen, and we will get a bail very easily. So what is your message to the system, to the youth?
Youth is a torchbearer, is what I've always seen. They are at the helm of the things. Whatever you are to achieve in a country needs to start from the youth, right? So whatever we are instilling, a message for them would be to look into their lives in a better perspective, to have a better lens, to have a better understanding of what life is meant to be. If they are here as immigrants, then setting up themselves for success is what they need to start off with. We know that issues like unemployment, issues like housing would always be there in any of the countries that you're dealing with, which is on the growth trajectory. If you are able to deal with those issues and are able to get over those issues, ask for help, go in for help, and help the people around you. That wise, we can make this particular society a better society to deal with.
Tanvi, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, आज सीगे तन्वी सुखीजा जड़े के एक prison instructor है from Arts of Living. Arts of Living जड़े 65 countries दे अंदर programs चलांदे हैं. Canada दे अंदर भी prisons जड़े है correctional officers, correctional services which is handled by the federal. And अगर फिर दसिए अगर सेंटेंस 2 साल तो बाद है तो वो फेडरल जुरिसडिक्शन चाहती है, अगर सेंटेंस शॉर्टर टर्म है तो प्रोविंशियल मिनिस्ट्रीज हैंडल कर दी है. एंड आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਚਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਨਮੇਟਸ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਅੱਛੇ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਉਹ ਬਣ ਸਕਣ. ਐਂਡ देयर ਆਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਫॉर द ਕਰੈਕਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਟਾਫ ਆਲਸੋ. ਸੋ ਦਿਸ ਵਾਸ ਤਨਵੀ ਸੁਖੇਜਾ.